is there such a thing as good and bad or right and wrong? I mean, there are a lot of religions that talk about a lot of things. There are a lot of people that talk about ye theek hai, ye theek nahi hai. But it's so relative, and I'd like to get your views on
Yeah.
how you see, good and bad, right and wrong. How do
Okay.
how do you look at that? And if at all an individual who's concerned about it, okay, about am I doing the right thing, am I doing the wrong thing, do they need to be concerned about it? Do they have to worry about it or just do something? I just want to understand whether that's something that they should be worried about. I mean,
Concerned about.
yeah, concerned about is a better word. And if one does need to be concerned about it, how does one know if what I'm doing is good or bad or right or wrong?
Correct.
So it's so relative. In a certain context, let's give an example of, let's say, killing of a human being is bad, but if it's done in some guy has actually, both of these gangsters do it, it's considered wrong. But then if a person in the army goes and kills the enemy, he gets medals, he gets awarded for that.
Yes.
It's still killing of another human being.
Yes.
Whether it's an Indian or a Pakistani, how does it matter? So these are
Beautiful. We can answer it very easily. Very
right.
easily.
And to give another perspective of right and wrong, let's say in a marriage situation where there is a man commits adultery and he goes to have sex with another woman, it's considered wrong. In the majority of society would think that ye nahi hona chahiye. But at the same time, let's say if a man goes and has sex with another woman and then the wife goes and has sex with another man, does that become okay? I mean, is it,
Okay.
how does one, if one only wants to get tit for tat kind of thing, does that that become right?
Right.
And things
I
like
understand.
that.
I understand the question. Interesting question, Rishi. There is definitely good and bad.
Okay.
There has to be. Otherwise, there would be chaos in the world. Okay. The good and bad can be seen at 3 different levels.
One second, you're saying otherwise there would be chaos in the world if there was not any good and
Yeah,
bad?
there would be more chaos. There would be
Okay.
more chaos.
Because I thought there was chaos is because of
There
the
would be much
duality.
more chaos. There would be much more chaos.
Alright.
Okay. For example, we have rules on the road,
Yeah, right.
right? Imagine if there was nothing was
Nobody followed the
nobody
rules.
followed any rule. There would be major chaos, right or
Actually, I
wrong?
want to butt in over here.
Yeah.
I want to share something with you. There's this particular traffic spot, and it's huge. There are like about 4, 5, 6 lanes. It's not just a 4 crossing. It's multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, and I used to have to go through that path when Meeta was admitted to the hospital. She was delivering a baby, so I had to go back and forth
Yeah.
3 times a day carrying food
Oh.
and stuff. So, and for some reason in the afternoon that signal went off. Okay, and it was amazing because everybody managed to go without it. In fact, if the signals were on, we'd be waiting for about 2 or 3 signals to get past that crossing. But in such a high 6-lane crossing, everybody just moved so smoothly.
I think you were just lucky.
It happened every day for a week.
Well, let's see.
Okay,
Good
I
and
know,
bad.
maybe that was
Ah.
an example.
Let's see, good and bad. Very interesting. See, good and bad you can see at a personal level.
Okay,
This is good for me.
right.
I don't care if it's not good for you. Very, very subjective.
Sure.
Very subjective. For a robber, it's very good. That this wallet was over here and I can take it.
Right.
At different times, some things will be good for me, and other times it will be bad for me.
Sure.
So basically, I use what is convenient for me, what is comfortable for me, and I manipulate because the mind is so cunning and shrewd, and it can twist anything to make it good for me
Right.
if I choose to.
Sure.
So therefore, taking things good or bad at a personal level cannot be the truth. Cannot be the truth, because truth is eternal. Truth doesn't depend on time and space. Truth is the truth, whether it is for me or you, or whether it was in the Mughal period, or whether it will be in the future. The truth is the truth, and that cannot be manipulated. So, judging what is good or bad at a personal level, not very reliable. Then what other level can we look at it? So our scriptures have said, do your dharma. If you want to know what to do, what is good, what is bad, go according to your dharma. Do according to your dharma. So what is dharma? There are in our ancient Indian philosophy, we have got 4 different ashrams or stages in life. There's the brahmacharya stage, that is the student life, first 25 years of your life. 25 to 50 we have grihastha ashram, which is married life, family life. Then 50 to 75 we call vanaprastha, where you start detaching from material world. And then you have 75 to 100, because we were supposed to live for 100 years. Then you have sannyas. So you are basically going inward and thinking about your spiritual goal. In each stage, what you have to do is based on your goal for that particular stage of your life. So as a brahmacharya, what is good for me? To study. What is good for me? To expand my knowledge. What is good for me? To serve my guru. What is good for me? Focus on my studies. Is it good for me to neglect my studies and go to the discotheque? No, it's not. So for each stage of my life, I have a goal, and I should choose my actions according to my particular goal. So if my action is taking me closer to my goal for that stage of my life, it's good for me at that time, and it's taking me further away from my goal, it's probably not a very intelligent act for me to do. Another way of looking at it according to dharma, one is ashram, other is varna. So varna was like in the ancient days, they sorted out society according to the capabilities of each human being. So people who were very intellectual, they could read, they were literate, they were given the job of reading the scriptures and explaining it to others. And the scriptures used to talk of Brahma, the supreme power, and so they were called Brahmins, because they were telling you about the scriptures of Brahma. Then while they were studying the scriptures, they needed to be protected from invasions, and so now who are the strong people? You are like very tough and all, so you take the job of protecting the Brahmins while they're doing their work. So they became the Kshatriyas. And then while the Kshatriyas are doing the job of protecting and the Brahmins are doing the job of studying, someone should provide them their food and take care of the systems. So the Vaishyas, the merchant class, traders, they were given that job. And now, okay, you guys, you are not good at this, you cannot provide also. What will you do? You will help these people. Whatever they need, you will help them. You will be the helpers, the assistants. And so they were called the Shudras. So that is how these different, now we call, terrible caste system, and you have divided the society, and it has taken on taboos. Actually, this was the original reason why it was like a cooperative society, each one doing the job that they were best at doing. So now if you are a Kshatriya, what is your dharma? Your dharma is to protect, and whether it is to protect your land, or whether it is to protect your family, or whether it is to protect dharma itself, your job is to protect. So now the classic example of course comes in Bhagavad Gita, because you talked about the soldier who is fighting, and then he's given medals for that. So Bhagavad Gita gives it a very, very clear understanding. Do your dharma, whatever it may be. If you are a Kshatriya, then do your dharma. But remember, you are not the doer. You are not the one who is actually doing anything. You are the medium through which righteousness is being done. You are the medium through which the right action is being done. You do not take the credit or the merit for what you are doing. So, coming to the examples that you have given. For example, till the time comes where the whole world understands that we are one, that we need not be separated by unnatural geographical boundaries or political boundaries, which is actually the purpose of spirituality, which is actually what all religions and scriptures are telling you. We are one.
So then I have a question actually right at the beginning, which I thought I'll listen to what you have to say, but why do we have to divide our lives into 4 parts? Why not just go to the spiritual journey directly? Why go through the stage of 25 years, 25, 25, 25?
Because of so many lives that we have lived, we have collected this identity with this body. We have collected this identity with all the different, the ego, which is, our identification with who I am. For so many lifetimes, we have collected false notions, false identities of who we are. And now when we take birth, we are taking birth with all the previous identifications. It's a conditioning. The understanding has been shrouded with false notions of who I am. And so the spiritual journey is not just in one lifetime. The spiritual journey is over several lifetimes. So now, in one lifetime, I have done certain practices, I have cleared certain doubts, I have reached a certain level of understanding. Spirituality is just having better understanding of who I am. Now when I take birth in the next life, in the beginning, depends on how much I have progressed in my spirituality, I will be born with that much clearer understanding. And some people will understand it at student stage only. In the first 25 years of their life, they are already on the spiritual journey. How do you explain that? It's explained because he has already cleared these doubts in previous lifetimes, and he is born now to progress in his spiritual journey. So everyone doesn't have to go through this 25. The majority of people are going through this. But it's not that I have to wait till I'm 75 years old to go on a spiritual journey. I can do it even when I'm 20. I can do it, and there are people who are doing it. They are already on a spiritual journey. They need not wait for so long. Their understanding comes faster and clearer and clearer and clearer. Adi Shankaracharya, by the time he was 33, had already established 4 mutts in India. He had travelled around the entire country several times. He had written hundreds or maybe thousands of prayers. So it's not like everyone has to go through this.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. So then coming back to helping understand
the good and bad.
Okay.
This is one way of looking at it.
Okay.
Now there is a more universal way of looking at it, which is in Bhagavad Gita again, and I will keep quoting because I'm teaching the text, and so I can keep drawing
example from it.
Knowledge from it, which may have happened centuries and centuries ago, but it is so relevant in our day-to-day living
today.
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives Arjun certain values which are universal. They do not they do not change from that old India to this India, from person to person. And if one measures or uses those values, you can say, as touchstones, like gold, you have a stone and you want to see
If it's
how
golden.
good this gold is, you just scratch
Yeah,
it on that
yeah.
touchstone
Yeah.
and you know the carat or 24 carat or 18 carat. So those values are the touchstones for us to evaluate that this action is a good action or this action is a bad action. And those values are beautiful values. They are values of honesty, they are values of ahimsa, which is non-violence, value of faith in a higher power, value of detachment, value of clearing your intellect so that you can know what is true and what is false. There are all these values, and scriptures have given us these values. And if you live your life, for example, ahimsa, non-violence, most of us will associate non-violence with what? Don't kill anyone. If you take it a little further, don't kill animals, be vegetarian. But it goes beyond that. It is not just non-violence in actions, it is also non-violence in speech. Don't say things which hurt other people. And you can take it more subtle, non-violence in thought. So are you living now? If you want to know, is this action good or bad? Okay, is it meeting the criteria of not hurting anyone, not just in action but also in word and also in thought, because thought has power, you know that. Thought can create reality. So are you living in a non-violent way or not? These are the touchstones of knowing whether this is good or whether this is bad. It's so beautiful.
So, fine, I get that. So now, if you take an example of maybe your own personal life, of this is good and bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I'm not sure. I suspect you may feel that there are areas that you still need to go higher and higher.
100%. How
Okay.
can you ever stop growing?
So in that sense, are you concerned about doing
Sure.
like, oh God, yeah, I go again, I screwed up? Is it concerned, or is it like
No, it
chill?
is definitely a matter of concern,
Okay.
because these will give me the tracks, like a railway track.
Yeah.
Unless there are tracks, where will that train run? It will derail.
Right.
So,
So what
to
do you
get
go
my
through? Yeah.
get my life on track,
Yeah.
I need to be concerned.
Right. So let's assume you are unaware that you're doing something that is quote unquote wrong.
Yeah.
Like you gave me the Ahimsa example.
Yeah.
Oh, that level of thought tak bhi hai.
Correct.
So let's say you are not aware of something that you're doing and you're stepping on somebody's toes, and you have no idea that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't matter anyway.
It matters.
No, in the sense, you can't do anything about it because you're unaware.
Yeah.
Let's say you did something and
Just after that, you realize, holy crap, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I just did something like that. So, do you need to be concerned, or is there
You
any
need
action
to learn.
be done?
Definitely.
Okay, can you
So
share
at
what that
least,
is?
for example, I do something.
yeah.
If I have absolutely no idea that I've done anything wrong, then I'm as good as an animal.
And whether we want
Animal,
to-
because
Yeah.
it's only a human being that has intellect that
Yeah.
can discriminate between
Yeah.
good and bad, and that is the only thing that differentiates you from an animal. An animal has no buddhi. An animal has not been endowed with the faculty of discerning between good and bad. So
Yeah,
if
but we still live in that state of
yeah,
animal being.
yeah, so we are as good as that. Then.
Yeah, but when you're in that state, demanding that a blind man walk across the road is
you demand is out of the question. If somebody is unaware of their wrongdoing,
So
to
they
make
will
a
keep
demand,
doing it.
They will keep doing it,
it.
but the only journey is for them to realize it at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
And there are enough opportunities for people to realize.
for example.
There are enough books, there is enough
Oh.
input, and
No.
most important, there is something as conscience. I doubt that there is a single person who does wrong without some prick in their conscience, some pinpoint, some poke, some thought, this is not correct. At some level.
I think, and here's my thought, and maybe you can share with me what you think about this.
I think that nobody does anything wrong in the sense if they did think they were doing something wrong, they wouldn't have done it.
No, they will do
get to
it
know
because
later.
A, they will think they will not get caught. B, their mind will do all kinds of things to justify
Correct.
the validity
Correct.
of it.
Correct.
But why are you trying to justify the validity? Because you know somewhere deep inside, you may not want to recognize that thought,
Let's
but
say-
the thought will come.
No, but let's say the example of one guy, he goes and say, let's take the example of adultery, okay? Now when he is going forward and moving in that direction, you know, let's say there are two aspects. One is he could woo another woman, right? That requires a lot of work, and then he can go and pay for it
Right.
and have sex and in exchange for money. Either way, there is some action to be done.
Yes.
Okay. When he is taking that action, he has already manipulated in his head
Yeah.
that I'm doing it because she deserves.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Huh.
She
But
whatever.
you have manipulated. Why
No,
have
but-
you manipulated?
No, but the thing is, the person is anyway unaware.
No,
of
he is
themselves.
aware and he is manipulating.
No, he's justified the reason.
Justify, but why are you justifying? You only need to justify if somewhere there is a dialogue inside. Why will
Yes.
anyone want to justify unless there's a dialogue?
Which is what I'm calling
Yeah.
unconsciousness.
Yeah,
The dialogue.
but there is
Is
a
there some-
glimmer, there is a shadow of doubt. Shadow. And it may be very fleeting, it may be very transitory, it may be for 1 second that doubt, but the doubt is there. And if he's sharp enough, he will question his doubt instead of justifying it. He will question his doubt. Why am I trying to justify? You know, it all
Person who is
depends.
aware or seeking.
See, if you
will
are
do
just
that.
going to put that doubt under the carpet and say, I'm going to walk right over it because
Yeah.
X, Y, Z, 10,000 reasons, your mind will produce those reasons because it is feeding your ego, and we will come to that later.
Okay, fine.
So now, we digressed. So
No, we did. Actually,
Huh.
we are still on that topic of
why is it necessary?
no.
Why should I be concerned with good or bad?
Well, it's not a question of why. One can only be concerned if one is aware.
So one is
So-
you're not aware.
So if you're not aware,
Okay,
till such
now
time
if
you
you're
get
aware,
enough knocks
Huh.
in life, and then begin to start questioning and
so
seeking.
now
So it's
you are little aware. You've done the wrong thing, and immediately you say, "Oh my God."
not,
Why did I
normally
do it?
Would not. Maybe you'll go back again and say, I had such a good time. I'm going to come back next week and pay for more.
So
things."
so
Okay.
trial and error,
Yeah.
trial and error.
So this may happen for a while, and
Huh.
during this time, he's unaware.
He's unaware,
He's unaware that
or he
he's
is not
doing this.
bothered to make himself aware also.
Which is unaware.
Which is unaware. All right,
Right.
I grant you. He's
It's-
unaware.
You're either conscious or unconscious. He's unconscious in this area.
Okay, I'll grant it. Though
Yeah.
I know for a fact that deep inside it is there. Even at an unconscious level, the person knows the truth. Only thing
So
is,
then let me ask you, let's just get to this particular example. There are islands in which there is no taboo on sex. Everybody is a community there. Okay? Everybody will take care of everybody. These guys go out and get the fish. When they come back and they say, here, take the fish. They just throw the fish at everybody. There is no husband, there is no wife, there is no father, there is no son. There are adults, there are children. There are men, there are women. Anybody can have sex anytime, anywhere, on the beach. So that as just children, their whole culture, their community is like, sex is like having food here.
right?
When you feel like
And it's actually exactly the same.
right. So then where's the right and wrong in a city like this? We made the rules that say
So
about, you know,
that takes me to that second point.
Yeah.
That takes me to that second point
Yeah.
of then I am doing the dharma of that region.
Acha. Okay, so coming back to dharma.
I'm doing the dharma of that region.
Okay.
So here everybody is like this, so I'm also like this because I don't know any better. I'm totally shrouded in ignorance.
In the ultimate sense, there is no good and bad.
There is no good or bad over there because
It is
everybody
related
is
to dharma.
It's
Oh.
the dharma of that
यहाँ का
region.
dharma ये है.
हाँ.
When in Rome, don't do as the Romans do.
Correct.
When in Rome, do as
Yeah.
the Romans. That's
That's
the
what-
rule. So from that point of view, the good and bad, there is nothing to be concerned about. But in that, when
Now
you're-
there maybe, if I don't give the fish to everyone, then I'll be doing bad.
yeah, because in that dharma is not about storing the fish,
Huh.
holding the fish.
Correct.
It's
It's
a
about
question
sharing.
You go fish and you give.
Huh, bas,
Correct.
whatever.
That's the dharma.
That's the dharma of that
Right.
place.
Correct. यहाँ पे maybe the dharma is nahi.
Huh.
What you do, you bring
So
for
you-
your.
and people who want to live like that should go on that island
Correct.
and live there.
Correct.
You understand?
Yeah.
If people want to live like that, they should go on that island and live there because that dharma suits them. Whether
Yeah,
that dharma.
Buddhist colonies, for example,
Huh?
I saw one video.
Yeah.
And
It
they,
exists.
they felt that they don't want to be bothered about clothing, and they don't want to be worried about that thing down there, and some whatever. And they have actually moved, and sometimes they have to come back to reality. Which she was the lady being interviewed. She said that now I have to wear clothes again. I have to go and study and come back.
Why? I mean, it suits them, and I'm not
Right.
here to judge them at
Judge.
all. But what a waste of a life! What a
No, I
waste
guess
of a
eventually
life!
when she's finished with her education, when she's finished with the university, she'll probably move in permanently like the other residents in that new
Yeah, but there is more to life than not wearing clothes. There is a whole journey to travel. There is a whole purpose. Your purpose of life. You've taken a human birth just so that you want to live without clothes. Then animals also live without clothes. You are only at that level, in my opinion, and that's my personal opinion.
All right. So, okay. So this was interesting about the dharma, the good and bad. And my third part of the question was, if yes, how does one know what is good and bad? So in answering that question, there's some portion was answered.
Yeah,
you will know.
You go to the scriptures.
You go to the scriptures.
If you don't want to do that, go
Check.
to the guru.
Check your dharma.
Go to the guru. He will tell you.
Huh.
I cannot surrender to a guru. My ego is too big. I don't believe in guru, biru, shuru, furu. Okay, then trial and error. Waste your life. It's fine. It's a free will. It's a free country. It's a free world. Keep trying. If it makes you feel happier, if it improves the quality of your life, if you're feeling bliss totally, you're on the right path. And if you're moving from happiness to sadness, from this to this, and you're on a continuous roller coaster in your life, is not getting settled, you can still keep trying.
Good.